What's up? My name is Devante, or Doku D, as the channel name would suggest, and today we're going to be doing a talk over a video of me drawing Sonic, a speed art. So I guess sit back, relax, and today the topic is primarily going to be about freedom, because that's what I feel like Sonic represents in a lot of ways. But also I've just been wanting to get some thoughts out, and who better than YouTube to complain to or to vent to when you're broke like me. Speaking of being broke, I feel like money is what hinges on whether you are free or not nowadays. Personally, to get into my personal life, I'm a wage slave, it would appear at this point. I go paycheck to paycheck and I pay all my bills, or I try to pay all my bills and have a lot of bills. And to be honest, it's quite overwhelming, and I feel like I can't properly live my life, and I feel like that feeling right now is the way a lot of people are feeling across America. That's where I'm from, the United States, and just generally around the world. I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm sick of capitalism. I wish I could be like Sonic in the sense I just run around big ass grass fields all day and just, I don't know, do shit. I apologize for that. There's gonna be cursing. I'm sorry. Anyway, but characters like Sonic and characters like, well, we'll just stick to Sonic for now. But characters like Sonic inspired me to live life the way I see fit. Live life free. He has this like really cool speech in, I think it's Sonic Secret Rings. I think that is the one where he's like a knight. I forget exactly the title. I played it so long ago and I was like a little stupid kid, so I never really beat it. But he has this speech about how, the world is, it does have its end, but that's why you gotta make every little moment count, and that's what makes it special. And for a while, I'll say even sometimes I still kind of don't believe this. I feel like if we all lived forever and things were perfect, then that would really be special. But then again, I don't have that point of view from like a non-finite life, if that makes sense. I don't even know how to put that, but I don't really have any other perspectives to look off of. Like, I don't know what it would be like to be immortal and live forever. I don't know what it would be like to have a world where nobody dies and you don't lose anything. But I feel like Sonic is a ray of hope for as a character in times like this, and I'm trying to make characters that essentially represent the same thing. More on that in a different video, but I don't know. Sonic is definitely one of my top 2 characters. Have you guys played? Leave in the comments if you've played Sonic Frontiers. A lot of mixed opinions on that game. I thought it was great. I thought it had its issues, but I love the feeling of truly being free, running around as Sonic. Like, I feel like most of his games should take that direction from here on out. So personally, I love Sonic Frontiers, but let me know what you think about Sonic Frontiers in the comments. To talk about the drawing for a minute, I struggled quite a bit at the beginning there, trying to draw Sonic. I always struggle to get his head right. I don't know what it is, but it's like his head is like long, like his quills stretch out long, or depending on the type of Sonic you're drawing. I like long quilled Sonic, and his quills stretch out long, and it's like hard to space where his head, like if you cut his quills where his head would stop, and then how the quills hang down and all that. I think right here I did a okay job. It's passable in my opinion. Those 2 attempts before were just trash, so this was passable in comparison. But I've noticed with my art, I always have issues with spacing and making things the appropriate size. As you can see, Sonic's shoes are a bit, I don't know, they're off a little bit maybe. I think his hand might be maybe a little bit too big. I'm not sure, but sometimes you gotta roll with the imperfections and learn from it. Getting to the backhand here, I was actually really, we'll say, proud of that particular little part, just because for a moment I wasn't gonna draw a second hand. Like, I was gonna have it so that his hand is assumed like it's just going straight back from where his body is. But a little bit about the drawing process for me. I'm a self-taught artist. I haven't taken any classes like I should, and I'm thinking about taking them soon so I can evolve. Because right now I've been kind of hitting a wall, and I've been making a comic, and I have a whole video that I'll make about that later. But I'm starting to feel like I'm hitting a wall when it comes to art, and now I need to rely on professionals who've done this for years to lead me in the right direction. But we'll see how that goes, and I'll keep you guys posted. Back on the topic of freedom, though. I ain't gonna lie, when making this channel, part of me wanted to make it about, political commentary. I probably will speak on politics because politics directly affect your life. It's like, you could rename it just like life issues, to be honest. I don't know, but I feel like under the system we're currently in, if you live in America like I do, or the United States like I do, which is likely that you do if you're watching this, I'm tired of working paycheck to paycheck. I'm tired of doing shit I don't like to do. You can probably guess I want to be an artist, content creator in some sense of the word. And I feel like everybody nowadays wants to be content creators, artists too even. But with the rise of AI art, it's a little bit like a foot on my neck, if that makes any sense to any artists out there. Not only do I feel like my skill isn't quite up to par, but now I have to compete with the cumulative skill of like thousands of people that had their art stolen with janky ass AI art that people are too lazy to learn how to make or struggle through like I'm doing to get somewhere with art. I'd like to be a comic book artist, but I feel like between my job and everything you see online, it's looking bleak. But in times like this, I want to have hope, and I want to continue to fight and keep trying to achieve my dreams and my goals. I feel like everyone should be able to do a job they like to do. I feel like we have a lot of unnecessary systems in place that don't really help. They just make unnecessary things we don't need, and there's people who don't have their needs met. And meanwhile, we're busy worried about the next phone or the next VR system. So I don't know. I don't think capitalism is going to work long term. I think very soon something's going to have to happen. Something's got to give. And pretty soon, some of us will be someday maybe on the front lines fighting for our freedom. True freedom. Not just freedom for the rich, but freedom for us all. And I think if Sonic were here, which is kind of funny to think about, a little blue guy running around, but I think if he were here, he would think a lot of the same about the systems we have in place. They don't really allow you to flourish as a person. A lot of people do things they don't care for, and I don't think it's fair. I don't think it's fair that someone across the world can be filthy rich and just living life on easy mode, hoarding money while some other person has to starve on the street and be cold out in the rain. There's no justification for that, and I don't believe that humans were ever born or made to be individualistic the way we are under capitalism. I think we were meant to work together with our friends and family and loved ones and step in when people need help, like Sonic does. That was a little corny, I ain't gonna lie. Anyway, we're getting close to the end here, but this is how I really feel. And it's why I put such an emphasis on characters related to freedom. And you'll see more of that later, or in later videos. But I guess to go back to the drawing after I had my little talky talk, I really like what I was doing with the shading. I feel like I could have done more. Oh, we're really reaching in here. Shit, I wasn't paying attention. Anyway, I feel like I could have done more in terms of rendering, but it came out okay, especially in comparison to those previous pieces of garbage I was sketching earlier. But hey, sometimes you gotta trust the process. You gotta not be afraid to revise and take another look at what you're making. I won't lie, at this part right here, I did get a bit lazy. I didn't originally have this idea, and I kind of hate when I come up with new ideas while I'm drawing. But I didn't want to draw Knuckles and Tails, their hands like reaching out to Sonic. which I originally drew this with the Go-Go Sonic trend on TikTok, where he's like fighting against Sonic EXE and all his friends are lost, but he has to keep fighting. So it's kind of the theme of this drawing. But I feel like in Frontiers he was kind of in the same predicament, and I just really love like a serious Sonic story where he's like the last one standing, or I don't know, he's taking himself seriously and it has the weight of the world on his shoulders. And sometimes I feel like in my little world that I live in, I'm sorry, the start of that was corny, bro. Anyway, I feel like in the little world that I live in, I mean, sometimes the weight of the world is on my shoulders and in my own little world when it comes to these bills and trying to make ends meet and working shitty jobs. But maybe someday I could run to the finish line. Let me stop. I could make it to the finish line like Sonic. Bro, I'm not. This ain't scripted, bro. I don't know if I'm ever gonna script this, but anyway, and maybe achieve my dreams as an artist someday. But reaching in here, we reached the end. What do you think about the Sonic drawing? Did you like it? What do you think I could have done differently? Any experienced artists in the comments, please leave suggestions down below. I would love to hear it because I'm looking for some level of help. So feel free to leave a comment about whatever you want to leave. If you have any thoughts on my thoughts, I'd love to talk about that too. I love talking about life issues, just to put it bluntly. But anyway, I'll see you guys next video. Welcome to my channel. See ya.